You know, maybe this is a hot take, but damn if this ain't the best TenSura arc, I can tell. For me anyway, opinion's gonna differ. But as someone who loves dungeon crawling, I said it in my What Will I Watch, I'm like, hey, this Dungeon People anime that's coming out this season ain't gonna be no delicious in dungeon, but we need more of those dungeon crawling shows. And then the TenSura anime comes out and says, listen, the Coliseum's all cool, you know, big ass Coliseum for events, but we're also gonna add a dungeon to it. And when they said that, I thought to myself, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. They got that built now. What was supposed to take a year took a month to build the main attraction. Rammus is proven that she is quite needed and useful, which is important after she casually invaded another Demon Lord's domain. The idea that it's just one big video game developer conference, 100 levels. We put Veldora at level 100. He can release all that aura he wants, which not only in return makes him feel better, but also can help spawn monsters. And they go through and they develop, and they're just, you might want to say, like, okay, but, like, this ain't a video game, right? Like, this is real life. If you die in the dungeon, you're gonna die in real life. Nope, they figured that one out too, though I am waiting for the moment when someone's bracelet doesn't work properly, and maybe it does get a spicy. And if that never happens, that just means Rimuru's probably covering up some shit, because at some point that's gotta happen. The idea that basically, as long as you die in something that is created by Ramrus, and she gives you that bracelet, ultimately you're just gonna respawn. So it basically acts like the ultimate video game. And for a world that doesn't have video games, I honestly feel like it's probably gonna be even more exciting for them because, well, for someone like me, it'd be like, oh man, this is like the ultimate VR experience. For them, it's like getting the thrill of life, but not. It honestly feels like if you took someone from like the 1940s and showed them a smartphone, right? It's just such a jump in logic that they probably can't comprehend, but once they see it, it's gonna absolutely knock their socks off. This seems like it's gonna be an arc that is fun first and foremost, and, you know, interesting second. And interesting, I mean, like, with political stuff, building stuff, relationship, because at the end of the day, it just feels like Core 2 is like anti-Core 1, where it's just balls to the walls fun. And everything I'm seeing from this dungeon, for me anyway, seems like it's about to be the best arc for me. Maybe it'll change, maybe it won't reach that level, but after this episode, seeing what the dungeon can do, I'm absolutely here for it. Now, of course, I have full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full link and thought to any of these TenSura episodes, it's over there exclusively. What a fun episode. I mean, anytime you say, hey, Veldora, come with me, it's kind of a coin toss. Okay, is this boy needed because he's going to get in the way, so we're just trying to keep him out of harm's way, or is he going to be useful? And in this case, he is useful, it's just he doesn't quite realize, I can't tell if I feel bad for Veldora, because on one hand, this man's been holding back, like, honestly, some of the shit he says in this episode could be taken out of context, I'm just gonna say that. But the idea that we go to his room, and it's basically just a prison, like, it looks like the same cave that he was saved from, and he's like, bruh, are you really gonna do me dirty like this, Master Rimuru? Like, can we, like, spice it up? And then they spice it up. It definitely looks like a boss room. He has his own little room with manga and the best furniture money can buy. Which is absolutely adorable, but it's really cool because the idea of having arguably the strongest character that we still met up to this point, and most of the time he's just reading manga, he's just chilling, he's just doing his random thing. The idea that he's just like, he doesn't see what Rimuru's doing, and honestly, even if he realized what Rimuru's doing, I'm not sure he would care at that much, because like, Veldora's just completely a loyal boy at this point, but I absolutely love the fact that he's just like, he's busting. He's like, I'm still going. I can see, he's just, because as far as like, unless I'm forgetting, I'm pretty sure he hasn't been able to release that aura since he was saved, right? Like, I'm pretty sure he's had to be, like, pent up this entire time. Either way, it's been a hot minute. And the idea of it all seeping through the tunnels, like, all that stuff is just so good, but the thing that really sold me on this episode was when they were planning the 100 floors. So they literally are making it like a video game. So you have, like, oh, we can rearrange whatever we want. They're drawing on diagrams like, hey, we're gonna have pitfalls, we're gonna have this. Rimuru comes up with the most messed up one. Hey, we're gonna suffocate them with no oxygen. They're just like, yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. Rimuru can say the most unhinged shit and just have it seem wholesome. Like, yeah, you know, there's this thing that most living creatures breathe in. We're just gonna remove that from a room. Rimuru. God damn. But it was so fun. It felt like somehow this show turned into a dungeon crawling anime, but in such a creative way, because there's obviously these emotional, very amazing moments with Ramrith, getting, the master contract here, and basically going from like, hey, I'm no longer going to be alone, like I have this family now, like, just thinking back to when we first met her and how alone she felt to where she is now. It is really nice and sweet to see. But I'd be lying if I said my favorite thing isn't just them dicking around, and we go from her being like, yeah, I can do a floor an hour. Okay, 10 minutes later, she has like 15 floors done. 2 seconds later, she has 100 floors. Like, they sped through the building side of it, but I think with everything we've seen over 3 seasons, it's okay. Because I think the more interesting things are going to be the general people going through this dungeon, the finishing touches, all that type of stuff I think is way more interesting for a viewer at this point. And I think, not wasting time and just getting to the meat and potatoes, not dicking around with some appetizers, no, like, this is what we want to see. And I think even if you don't think it's going to be your favorite arc, because maybe this type of storytelling, this type of, set design and stuff isn't necessarily your best cup of tea, at the same time, I don't think people are going to be bored watching this episode or probably watching the episodes upcoming, because this is fun. You end the episode with Milim casually saying, I'll go capture some dragons for you for your dungeon, because we can't do elemental stuff like lightning and fire and water, so we'll just throw some more dragons in here. And it's like, of course we will, because that's the type of companionship we have at this point. We have the strongest of the strong who are just casually BFS with us, and we can build the ultimate VR experience, and it's fantastic. Honestly, I walked into this core excited, because no matter what, Slime's going to be enjoyable, and I'm going to look forward to watching it. But like I said, as soon as the second core kicked off, the production was just way better, and it just seemed way more fun. And honestly, it feels like the characters are really having fun, which does make sense for like thematically. Like, they went from life or death, like, oh my god, here's all this war shit we don't want to deal with, to now we're just building the ultimate funland zone. It makes sense why their personalities and vibes are a lot different, because for them, they just came off of something very intense. But at the same time, for the viewer, this is just way better. It is 110% better. And I'm so excited to see, because here's the thing, if Veldora is number 100, no one's ever beating the dungeon completely. Like, even if Rimuru tackled it, if Veldora actually wanted to go all out, I mean, like, who the hell's gonna beat Veldora? Right? So, I'm interested to see. They got the good systems, every 10 levels save point, but in order to get to the save point, you do have to defeat a monster. It's just the ultimate video game, and I think it's about to be the best TenSura arc. Fight me. Those are just my feelings. Let me know what you thought down below, and how excited are you for this arc after seeing what they've built underneath the Coliseum. Do let me know down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Austin Henshaw, Lucy S., Nick Howard, Chrono Phantom, Exharish, Nuva Gown, and Isol Kadira. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.